Yes, yes, yes. We are back after 2 weeks away. Welcome back to Whiskey Wednesday, guys. Episode number 6, where I'm going to be talking about rejection and heartbreak. We all go through it. So, first of all, the first thing we always do on this show is we have a cheers. Here's my man Sam. Get your head in there. Cheers, Sam. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys. So yeah, guys, excuse a wife beater. I am from Middlesbrough, but it's because it's absolutely boiling in the studio tonight. The studio, aka my flat. That's where we are tonight, guys. So rejection and heartbreak. And before we start, can I just say, there's a button on your Facebook thing here where you can click it and share this video with as many people, because the more people we get on here, the better we can keep continuing this and we can keep working and growing together. So yeah, so click that button, like, share and subscribe, and especially with the YouTube channel, the Key Life channel, please like, click and subscribe to that. Over the next month there's going to be a lot of 4 new circuits going on there. So at the moment there's 4 beginners ones. I'm putting 4 intermediate ones on there over the next month. So there'll be 1 released a week. So that'll be awesome for us all. It absolutely killed me, guys. So it'll be good for you. So rejection and heartbreak, man. This is a tough one. This is a tough one because we all go through it. And there's many ways of dealing with it, isn't there? There's many ways. But you can either let it swallow you up and wallow in self-pity, or you can do something with it and use that pain and turn it into absolute power. And now, freaking hell, man, it's easier said than done. The bottom line is let's start with rejection first. Rejection, guys. Hey Rachel, how you doing? Guys, rejection, Jesus Christ, it might as well be my middle name. Any actor, any artist, any entrepreneur, any businessman or businesswoman who is trying to grow to ridiculous heights, to greatness, is going to get rejected. Not once, not twice, millions and millions of times. Millions might be an exaggeration, but in the space of what, I've been a professional actor now for, shit, my maths isn't very good, guys. I think it's the wife beater that I've got on. Since 2005 I graduated, so what's that? Sam, help me with my maths.
13 years.
13 years, guys. 13 years I've been a professional. And out of those 13 years as an actor, my success rate is probably 5%. 5% success rate in 13 years. And I'm probably being generous there as well. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. And if you don't know... Hey, Dav. Good afternoon, buddy. And if you don't know how to handle that rejection and understand that it's a complete and utter part of the journey and it's an essential part, it's going to chew you up and destroy you, basically. Destroy you. And I'll give you one of the most sobering moments of my life in terms of my career. So again, we're talking about rejection and heartbreak. Rejection and heartbreak sometimes come hand in hand. Hey Helen, hey Nikki. Yes, from Tenerife. Cheers to that. So rejection, I tried quite a few things when I was young. I want to be a lawyer, didn't work out. Just didn't love it, wasn't passionate, so it was never going to work. Want to be a table tennis player, wasn't good enough, basically. That crushed me because that was my first dream. And then I got into this acting game and I finally found what truly made my heart sing, what made me get up in the morning, what made me like hop, jump and skip out of bed. Hey Sammy, hey, hop, jump and skip out of bed, guys, and it was the acting. But I always have this philosophy, and it's very true. The harder you work, the more you get. So when I was honoured enough, hello, hey Sue, when I was honoured enough to get into drama college, I worked like nobody else. because I was older than everybody else. I went to drama college late. I was 24, so I was in a incredible school, arts ed, with primarily 18-year-olds. I was even older than the third years on there. And I had what was called imposter syndrome. I didn't believe that I deserved to be there. I didn't believe I deserved a place. I didn't believe I was talented enough. But the one thing I believed in was my freaking ridiculous, relentless hard work. You know, hard work. But I hadn't been rejected. I got in. So that was great. Hey, Kulpinder. Hey, HK. I got in. So I never missed a single day. Blah, blah, blah. Fast forward. I worked solidly as an actor, non-stop for roughly about 8 years. 8 years of knowing what was coming next. Jesus Christ, it made me complacent. I was like, well, this formula's working, man. I work hard, I keep myself in shape, I work on all the skills I need to make sure that I'm prepared and I'm professional. Boom, agent gets me auditions. But anyway, it all changed when I decided to step up my game and get into, try and break into the American market, which, by the way, that'll never stop. That'll never ever stop. But sometimes you have to go backwards in order to go forwards. So I finished Hollyoaks, I got my visa and stuff, and I went over to LA. No real plan. My plan was, hey Jonathan, my plan was to just knock down every door I possibly could, just walk into casting rooms, do whatever I could to just get noticed. You know, I spent about $1,000 on putting together these like a media document for everything that I'd done, the awards I'd won, blah blah blah. And I literally, guys, I spent a week walking up and down. I can't even remember the name of the strip, but there's a huge strip in LA where all the agencies are on this Wilshire Boulevard. There's a few other ones that are dotted here, like on Avenue of the Stars and things like that. But Wilshire Boulevard, and guys, this strip is about, hey Claire, this strip is no joke. It is about 20 miles long, probably longer, Wilshire Boulevard. When you're a divvy like me and you just jump in head first, which I don't regret, you should always do that. Act first, think later. Honestly, when it comes to things that are career driven, act first, think later. So here I am. It's absolutely, evening Matty, it's absolutely boiling hot, and bless my beautiful sister, she decided to come out to LA with me. It was my first time out there, and we were going out there for like 2-3 weeks. And she walked in that blistering heat. We'd start at like 9 o'clock in the morning because I knew that the agencies didn't open till 10. So I made sure that I got there bang on for 10 o'clock to get to the first one. I had a map and a plan. I'd planned every single one that I was going to go to. I didn't even get past the front door. Am I still in LA? No, I'm in London, Sammy. I live in London now. I spent the full day walking, and not just one day, multiple days, a full 2 weeks. Hey Roo, I'm good, thank you for asking. The full 2 weeks walking up and down Wilshire Boulevard with a stack of these CV and media files that I'd spent $1,000 on putting together, walking into agencies saying, hey, I'm from England, I've done this, this and this, I'm just wondering if I could Nope. Some were more polite, but it was a robotic answer, which suggested to me that they are so used. Evening, buddy. They are so used to people like actors just walking in off the street and trying to get a meeting for representation. So I learnt my first mistake there, and the hardest pill to swallow. A lot of humility. I felt humiliated. My ego was dented. And what was worse was my poor sister. I could see that she could see the pain I was in, just going, and how every door that got slammed in my face, my confidence got less and less and less, to the point where I was like, I don't think I can. Start shaking and getting nervous. I don't think I can. I know what they're going to say. That negative, because of getting smacked in the face constantly, that negativity started to creep in. And why wouldn't it? You've gone 8 years working your ass off and it's just come to you, you know, as you expect it to do. Now you're trying to step up. No worries, Danielle, now you're trying to step up. And these doors, you're not even getting past that first phase. You're not getting past the receptionist. She's just like that, like a robot saying, sorry, we do not accept any unsolicited contact, and we don't take any unsolicited material. Do you have an appointment? Have you scheduled a meeting? And you just, no, I'm just like, and I started stuttering like that. For the first time in my life, I was like, no. And having to find myself breathing, and every single night we'd go back to the hotel and I'd pretty much be in tears. I felt more sorry for my sister. Hey Elliot, how you doing, man? I felt more sorry for my sister, but in a way it was good for her to see, oh fuck, it's not just all roses. He doesn't just get up and go. This is the journey. But it was my first taste of the real journey of being an artist, of what it truly takes. The strength, the mental discipline, the confidence, the mind, the brain training that you have to do to stay in the game. And that was my first brutal lesson. So how do we deal with it? How do we deal with that rejection on a daily basis when it comes to your career? Hey Tabitha, there's many ways to do it, and the layman's term is like Jocko Willink, who's this crazy ex-Navy SEALs. Like, he's got a couple of books out, Discipline Equals Freedom and Extreme Ownership. He's brilliant, but he's very just straight to the point. You just do it. You just woman up or man up and you effing do it. It's as simple as that. That door slams in your face, go so. I'll get up, I'll get better, and I'll do it. I'll go again. Cheers, Tabitha. I'm all good. If I've got a whiskey in my hand, I'm all good. I boxed today, feeling absolutely fresh as. I've got my wife beater on because it's too hot to wear a t-shirt under these lights and in this building. So that's one thing that people just do it. Yeah, that's easy. But how do I do it? You know, I want something so badly. I feel as though I'm working hard, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I know you guys have been in the same position. When you want something so badly, you're working so hard, but nothing you seem to be doing is working, and you get stuck, and you're like, what the F do I do? How do I get out of this hole? And it starts by working on yourself. I know that sounds really cheesy and cliche, but the reason why it's cheesy and it's a cliche is because it's true. It's because it's true. Rejection is a massive component for greatness. Without rejection, there is no greatness. Every single hero or great person or leader on this earth has suffered. Every single hero has been broken. Not just once, not just twice. Of course, I've still got the Borough accent. Are you mad, Sammy? That is never going to go anywhere unless I'm playing an American on a TV show or film. Watch the one in December. Thank you, cheeky little plug right there. Cheers to that. Self-development, of course self-development, but people, when they hear that word, it makes them cringe. They go, ooh, self-development, oh, not this cheesy, like, oh, if I do my affirmations and I go, oh, I'm going to get everything I want in life. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. That's a part of it. Your affirmations and your belief, what your mind believes, is a part of it. But if you're just sat here, if I sit here and go, I'm going to be a lead in a film, I'm going to be a lead in a film, I'm going to be a lead in a film, and I just sit here and drink, I ain't ever going to be a lead in a film. But if I go, my affirmations, I'm going to be a lead in a film, I'm going to be a lead in a film, I'm going to be a lead in a film. Okay, now what? Make a plan. 2 hours every morning, I'm going to write that lead until it's done. When I've got a good script, then I'm going to try and find a cast and a crew and a director. When I've got that, then I'm going to raise the money to make this film. I'm going to be a lead in a film. I'm going to be a lead in a film. as I'm doing the work and taking the action, I'm constantly repeating that saying, whatever it is I want, over and over again in my head, until eventually it comes to fruition. And that's how this self-development and stuff is done. But learning is so important. People who learn are leaders. And with rejection, you can look at it two ways. You can look at it many ways, but two ways. Let's always keep things simple and black and white, sorry. You can either let it swallow you up and hurt you and sit in the corner and wallow in self-pity, or like the great people before us, the Mahatma Gandhis of the world, the Mother Teresas, the Nelson Mandelas, who spent 25 years imprisoned for what he believed in. Not just getting rejected, but getting smashed every single day. And he still held his head up high, and he still kept his belief. Why? Because he kept his mind strong. He kept anything negative from entering his brain and his soul by reading, by learning, by keeping disciplined. That's such a key component to being able to deal with rejection, by having an incredible, indestructible routine, guys. You have to make a routine so you can use that rejection to go, I'm so lucky. And you might for a couple of days, but then slap yourself out and go, right, I'm going to turn this pain into power. How do I do that? What do I want? Use that fuel. Instead of going for this, if you're in that frame of mind, never do this. Never do this. If you're going through that, exercise. The key of life, guys. It's why every Monday I release something to do with fitness, because without that, you've got nothing. I am telling you right now, even if you do 5 minutes, if you think, don't make that excuse, oh, but I've got this and that. Man, there's people, there's a guy who tunes into this sometimes, Joseph, who got ran over. He was left for dead, and now he's walking. Some of you might have seen his video. Now he's walking, he's battling, he's a fighter. And he could have, more than any of us, more than me, sat there and gone, oh, fuck this. I'm just going to live off the social for the rest of my life. And I'm going to sit and have everyone else do everything for me. Because this happened to me. No, he's gone, all right, this has happened to me. This has happened to me. What do I do? Do I sit and give up? Or do I get up and grow stronger and learn from it and become greater in my pursuits? Because that's all rejection can do for you guys, you know. It can, if you look at it a certain way, it will make you greater. It will make you greater. Do not let it swallow you up. It's going to hurt. I'm not going to lie. It's going to hurt. But everything worth doing well, you can learn from pain. And the one great thing about pain is it means that you're alive. Evening, Joseph. I've just been talking about you, sir. It means you were so right, in a struggle at the minute. It went too quick. One door closes, another opens. Positive affirmations, cool friend. Hello, mate. Exercise, key to happiness, 100%. It's a key to being able to not only deal with rejection, but use rejection to make you stronger and more powerful. You know, there's this saying about habits. Let me think about this and make sure that I get this right, because my brain works at a million miles an hour. Bad habits are easy to form, but hard to live with. Good habits are hard to form and easy to live with. So you always want to fight to be creating good habits, guys. Good habits. That's what you want to be doing. Good habits. When it comes to rejection now, my good habits are, okay, so what have I learned from that? Cool, I need to go back to this, this and this. Steve, this advice is not just for rejection, but covers most parts of life. You get kicked down. Yeah, man, absolutely. It's for everything. Rejection is a constant thing, especially if you want a good life, guys. This is the irony. If you want a good life, and everyone's idea of a good life is very, very different. My idea of a good life for me is very different to everyone else's. We might have some similarities because there's that standard, but to have your version of a good life, you've got to create and form good habits, and rejection is going to be an essential part of that. In order to be great, you have to be willing to face rejection on a daily basis, on an absolute daily basis. All right, Paul, correct. Hard to fight, you'll succeed. But yes, sometimes, guys, this is a crazy thing. Hard work doesn't work. Consistent hard work works. That's another key. Because some people, man, they give up when they are so close because they've been slogging their hearts out for 5 years, 10 years. How often do I go to the gym, Tabitha? 4 days a week. That's it. It's about a balance, morning routine. If you win the morning, you win the day. Your morning routine has to be absolutely ironclad. With rejection, use it as something to fuel you forward by creating a good habit with rejection. Every time I get kicked in the teeth, I've created such a good habit now. I become healthier. I become more mindful. I start to read a lot more books. You know what I mean? Readers, guys, the leaders. The more you're learning, the more you're developing, the more knowledge you have. Wow, that's amazing, looking so good. Cheers. Cheers, Tabitha. Yeah, I've got me wife beater on. It's absolutely boiling, guys. So how to deal with rejection is, it's going to sting. You've got to accept it, but you've got to take complete ownership. I went out to LA and I felt sorry for myself when I got kicked in the teeth. But then when I started to come out of my wallowing in my own self-pity, I started to educate myself more and realise, okay, this isn't how this game works. This is not what the crack is. That's fair enough. I learned so much from that experience and I do not regret it one little bit. Do you know why? Because I still was willing to fail, and I did fail on that occasion, but you only truly fail is if you quit completely. All that was I lost a battle. I lost a battle. That is what happened at that point. But I learned from that battle, and like I said, any great leader, anyone who's striving for greatness in their life is gonna suffer so much, guys. You've got to be willing to suffer. You've got to be willing to take that pain, but be able to turn that pain into a win. And the way I do it is I'm just like, I'll show you. I take a deep breath. and I come up with a plan. I strategize, and then the thing that keeps me sane: exercise, reading, meditation. That morning routine, guys, when I'm on it, I'm indestructible, and no amount of rejection is going to get me down. In fact, I get happy when I'm being rejected, because if you're not being rejected from something, you're not really living. You're protecting yourself. You're staying in your little bubble of comfortability, and you're hiding away from growing and stretching. You're afraid of growing. Hey, Roo. You're afraid of growing pains. Now, remember when you were a kid? Well, a lot of you guys on here, well, probably, you are going to be probably parents, so you'll be able to relate to this a lot more. But if you're not, like me, revert back to being a kid. You probably won't remember when you were really young and you start teething, but your parents will, or your older brothers and sisters will, and you are crying like a mofo, and all your parents want to do is take that pain away from you. Oh, he's teething. I know oh God, I just want to take that pain away from them. But what happens after you get through that? You get a nice set of gnashes if you look after them, and you've grown. Something magnificent has come through that pain. Something magnificent has come through that pain. And the worst thing that could have happened is your parents stopping you from enduring that pain. Imagine if they could. Imagine if there was a way that every time a kid fell down, you could instantly take the pain away from them. They are going to learn nothing. They are going to be so scared to go out into the world and try anything. They're going to be so in a shelter. They're going to be scared of their own bloody shadows. You do not want that. The fact you can carry on talking while reading and answering is amazing. Cheers, Sammy. I'm not reading anything. I'm reading your questions, but that's about it. I can't even... But it's practice, Sammy. I mean, like I said, I can talk the back legs off a donkey, and I've been coaching all my life. Since I was a kid, I've done things like this, but I'm just doing it on a bigger scale now. And again, guys, if you're on here and you haven't done it yet, please share this video. There's a button on your thing where you can click it and share it with all your Facebook followers, because the more people we get on here sharing, the better. So yeah, growing pains, guys. That rejection is a growing pain. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. Smile because it's happening. Smile because it is happening. Own it. Be proud of it. Just think, holy shit. Like, and nothing I do will ever compare to the Mahatma Gandhis of the world, to the Martin Luther Kings of the world. They are just way beyond brilliant, beautiful human beings. Incredible. But you've got to take inspiration from them. How many times they got kicked in the teeth? How did they get through it? How did they cope with that rejection? By forming great habits. By making sure that they kept this muscle, the most important muscle that we have, our brain, our mindset, and protecting it daily with their lives, and then combining that with exercise, daily exercise. Now, some of you are going to get misconstrued with what I mean by exercise. I don't mean spending 2 or 3 hours in a gym. I mean spending a minimum of 10 minutes, anywhere upwards, but between 10 to 20 minutes of vigorous, high-intensity interval exercise every day if you can manage it. I don't do that. I do 4 days a week. After a month, your life will be completely and utterly changed. You will be wanting, you will embrace rejection. And like I said, the worst thing another human being can do for you is take that pain away from you. Because you are not going to learn anything. You are going to become soft. And every time you get rejection, all that's going to happen is it is going to crush you. It is going to destroy you. But if you can just keep getting up, that saying that I use, it's a Tibetan proverb, I think. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Strength is an inner thing, not about how fit your body is. Mind, Joseph, it's a mind. That's exactly what it is. But it's both things. It comes from the mind first, but the stronger you keep your body, the longer you're going to last. The longer you're going to last, the more you can do. It comes hand in hand. They complement each other, but it all starts from the mind, from the self. Absolutely. So yeah, so that's rejection. You have to always come to a positive, and the only way you can come to a positive from rejection is by having a clear, definitive purpose. So if you don't have that clear, definitive purpose, you don't have that reason why you're getting up in the morning, dealing with rejection is going to be a lot harder for you. But don't be afraid, like it says in the description for this talk tonight. Sometimes life's going to hit you in the face with a brick. Just keep going. Take that pain. Just keep going. That's why I am so like gung ho on people doing any form of fitness. Just get started. That's why I put those 5-minute absolute beginners workouts on the YouTube channel to start with, because I want everybody to know pushing the boundaries of your capabilities is difficult to do, but also the most, because your life begins, Matthew, at the end of your comfort zone. You know, everything, when it comes to greatness, everything that is great lies by getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. The more pressure you can handle, the more uncomfortable you can allow yourself to feel and be when going for greatness, the more you're going to win. Jesus, I look back to walking into those huge freaking agencies in LA, shitting myself, absolutely turding it, but man, I still went in and did it. And I'm so glad for that, because what would have happened if I didn't do that? I wouldn't be as strong as I am today. By facing that rejection, I wouldn't be as strong as I am today. But you have to always attach positive thoughts with that rejection. And it's the same, and with something when you're so passionate about it and you want it so badly, you suffer a lot of heartbreak and heartache from it. And you want to keep those two things congealed. You want that heartbreak. You wanna let it sink in. Never give up, of course. Never ever give up. You wanna keep that heartbreak alive in you and use that to fuel you to greatness. Again, things happen for a reason, and you can either sit and wallow in it, you can either sit and think, oh, why has this happened to me, or you can go, okay, this has happened, there's something better waiting for me around the corner. And sometimes it's just, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. But if you want something to work, then you've got to go out and get out there and get after it. And it's the same with relationships, guys. And don't get me wrong, I am not a relationship expert whatsoever, not in the slightest. All I have to go by is my own experiences of my close friends, books I read, the experts that I've listened to, and all things like this. Being there as well, no better feeling than self-worth, job satisfaction. Absolutely, Michael. So yeah, again, you can either, when you break up with someone for whatever reason, it's not about that, it's about the pain you feel. So regardless of what's gone on and what's happened, that's irrelevant, you know, because if you focus on that, it is going to chew you up and destroy you. It really is. You can't focus on that. You've got to let it go. You've just got to let it go and go, okay, this has happened. Take a deep breath, give yourself some time to think and relax. Maybe go and spend some time with some family and friends. Don't suppose you do personal training. I do actually, but only in London and with a select few people. It's not really a thing that I'm doing a lot of, but I do from time to time. And then, yeah, with heartbreak again, if you form good habits, the majority of people, we're designed to think negatively. That's how our brains are hardwired. So you have to rewire your brain and flip these negative thoughts into positive thoughts wherever you can. So you can either sit there and it's not meant, if it's not meant to be, then better dream opportunities. I don't know, am I a bit drunk? If it's not meant to be, then a better dream opportunities waiting. Oh yeah, if it's not meant to be, then a better dream or a better opportunity is waiting. Yes, I get it. It took me a while there. It's this heat, guys. I'm absolutely.
Did he have a comma?
Roasting. No.
I ain't on the comma.
That's it. And again, guys, please share this with as many people as you can whilst you're on here. Let's keep sharing. Let's build these numbers. Let's get people on here. So with heartbreak, again, you got to form good habits, guys. You got to form good habits and embrace that pain. Smile about it. It's amazing, because what's that cheesy saying? It's better to have lost and loved than to have not loved at all. And I totally and utterly agree with that. Love is awesome. It's a beast when it kicks you in the face. Stop blaming the heat. It is a beast, absolute beast when it kicks you in the face. But at the end of the day, guys, as hard as it is, you got to think to yourself, I'm alive. And if I'm alive, if there's breath in my body, I've got every single opportunity to find that next girl or boy, whatever your preference is. I love everyone, so it's all good. With rejection from jobs, you get rejected from a job, another one will come along. But heartbreak, man, it is a beast, and I'm not saying that it's easy. It's not easy at all, but you've got to, don't wallow in that pain. There's a difference between wallowing in it and then getting into that negative frame of mind where you start to feel sorry for yourself, and then you start to get comfortable with other people feeling sorry for you, and you start to enjoy that feeling, that attention. You are digging yourself a huge hole, and I'm telling you, my friend, that is going to be one awful, horrible road to go down. The difference is, instead of wallowing in that pain, embrace it. That is painful. I've never felt pain like this for a very long time. Great advice. For some reason now I want a whiskey. Get one in you, Stephen. Unless you're an alcoholic, then don't drink. okay? I don't want to encourage drinking for people who have problems with that, because that's not good. Exercise. So with heartbreak, don't wallow in it. Embrace it. Allow that pain to make you stronger. Again, it's like that little kid falling down. It's like that baby when they're teething and they're going through that pain. At the end of that pain, do you know what comes out the other end? A stronger human being. Mentally and spiritually. A more open, well, it takes a while because you get your guard up and stuff, I understand that. But a more open human being in terms of honest with themselves. More self-awareness with what's going on around you. The ability to release. Think we need to go see him, he's so good. I don't know what the rest of that is. HK. I can't see it. It's flipped up HK, so if you want to write that again and I'll try and answer it. So yeah, you've got to be proud that you were in a position to get your heart broken in the first place. Because all these experiences, man, you've got two choices. You can either let it beat you, or you can use it to grow. Heartbreak and rejection is growth. Heartbreak and rejection can lead to incredible things if you are open to it. Just proper spat my whiskey all over if you... Michael, yeah, that's a bit nuts to me, but yeah. So it's all about just rewiring your brain, guys, and you're gonna get days, man. You're gonna get days where it's gonna hit you. It's gonna hit you, and you will feel that pain, and it will sink in a bit. You'll be like, and then just go, oh well, and then get on with your day. I know it sounds mental. But eventually, again, with those things, that mind training, eventually it goes. But the worst thing you can do, guys, if you've been in a really long-term relationship, like serious, and you split up, this is a true test. It takes great power to live alone, to find yourself and to be comfortable in your own skin. You must take time for yourself. By jumping into another relationship straight away, you're fucked. Pardon my French, but you really are. You're doing it for completely and utterly the wrong reasons. You're doing it simply because you're afraid of being alone. Which these are all totally natural feelings. You're afraid. You want that comfort. You want someone to be there. But you got to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You got to embrace that pain. I've made a definitive point of this last year to do that myself, and it's incredible, and life is great because I'm back doing my thing. I'm back working hard. I'm back being focused, and again, I know that whoever comes into my life next, after strength. I missed that. I love all these comments, guys. Keep them coming. Keep sharing this Facebook. But they go so fast. It's like I get a train of thought and I'm talking, and then I'm trying to read people's questions, and it's just a bit difficult, guys. But yeah, so I'm just gonna do it. Cool. So yeah, it takes a very strong person to be able to be alone and be comfortable in their own skin when they've come out of a huge relationship. That is real power. That is real strength, and what happens is go out on dates, have fun. I'm not saying that. I'm freaking doing a lot of that, and that's another thing, I'm very open about that. Everyone that I take out on dates and stuff, they know exactly what the crack is, and I'm not a player or anything like that. I can't even play the guitar, but I'm just very honest. I just say, look, this is a crack. I like being social, going out and meeting people. This is where I'm at right now. So yeah, let's be friends. Whatever happens. But you need to learn to function on your own. You need to be able to create your habits, your routines, And then when you're ready, when you are so comfortable again in your own skin and you feel good and happy about your life, you are self-sufficient again. You can function on your own. You have the confidence and the strength. You are doing things that make you happy and are making other people happy. Do you know what's going to happen then? You're going to find someone, oh, this is what I'm hoping anyway, because what do I know? But what I believe is you're going to find someone that is going to, the right person. You know, you're going to find, and there's no such thing as a right person. Everything takes work. You know, you want a relationship to work, you can't run away from it. You know, because after 5 years, you could fall into love at first sight. And the first year, you're all like, and all this crazy stuff. And it's amazing. You go on holiday, you do this. But that's not real life. That's fantasy world. That's honeymoon period. Real life can still be a hell of a lot of fun. But what happens is things become stagnated, even in your work, in your training, in everything, and in relationships. So when you get to that level, it takes effort to continue for that relationship to work. So if you want it to work, you gotta be open. That communication's got to be open. You got to do things that will make your partner happy, and vice versa. It's a 50-50 thing. So everything takes work. It's like exercise, health. If I stop training, if I stop working at that, it disappears. It's no difference with happiness. If I stop waking up in the morning, if I'm off my routine for like 2 weeks, man, I'm a different human being. Because with education and learning, it's an ongoing thing. Because if you're not learning, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, guys, what you're doing? You're dying. Growing pains, if you want a good life, they're going to be with you for the rest of your life. But I'd rather have growing pains than dying pains. Much rather have that. No one will ever forget the first time they got rejected by a girl. Oh, mate! Michael, I was 16 years old or 17. And it wasn't a rejection. But my first ever girlfriend cheated on me. And man, I'm a complete and utter romantic, me. Hence why I'm an actor. So I had this like mad facet. If you got beans on you'd soon get sick of it. Yes, Dave Parker, that's exactly true. But that's why you've got to work on that. So beans on toast is we're using that as a metaphor for a relationship. This is mental. But if it's getting stale, add a bit of cheese, add a bit of pepper, have beans on a bagel. That's the same with a relationship. If the relationship's getting stale, you've got to add something to it. It's constant work. It's teamwork. It's like in business. You know, if you've got a business partner in a film and you've had a production company for 5 years, you're going to get on each other's nerves. There's going to be a point in a relationship, whether it's business or love. Siblings, I love my family a bit. I'd die for them. They mean the world to me. That doesn't mean that frickin' they piss me off from time to time and get right under my skin, and vice versa. I can be an absolute nightmare, guys, when I want to be. When I get onto something, I'm like a bull in a china shop, and you know, my family run for the hills, and I don't blame them, you know, and then I come back down and it's all good. But that's what I mean. But you have to work on these things. So when a relationship gets stale, that's normal. That's going to happen in every single relationship. You show me a relationship that hasn't got stale, and I'll show you a miracle. But the difference is between relationships, I believe, and again, I'm not an expert, I'm single right now. So some people can say, oh, well, you're in failed relationships. What right do you have to give advice on that? I'm not. I'm giving an opinion, guys. This is how I'm doing it, and I feel as though I'm doing pretty damn well. Do you know what I mean? And it's working for me. Where people who've been together for 20, 30 years, unbelievable. It's exactly what I want. I have a ridiculously high moral code. My ethics, the way I conduct myself, I'm always trying to be a better human being, because by trying to be a better human being, I'm going to hopefully encourage other people to do the same, to be nice to everyone, to encourage everyone to greatness, to help people win. You know, that's what it's all about. And I'm aware that I'm going to slip up from time to time. But as long as you're aware of it, you can step back up. So these 20, 30-year relationships, there's no way on God's green earth, no way on God's green earth that they have not had an argument, that they have not gone through slight phases of separation or really not liking each other. How have they got through it? Some people just put up with it and just go, fuck it. And that makes me quite sad. Whereas if I really want something to work, and it's not just one person, both people have to want to make it work, I'd be communicating. I'd be trying to add some more spice into it. Like, come on, it's got a bit stale now. Do you know, we've gone a bit off. Let's do something together. Let's go for a picnic. Let's go for a bike ride. It doesn't even have to be big, extravagant, expensive things. Because at the end of the day, guys, it is the little things when it comes to long-term relationships that matter more than the big things. I would rather a girl make me breakfast in bed, or make me a good healthy meal on a night when I get home from work or whatnot, as opposed to buying me a freaking Gucci watch. I know it's Gucci, but it's just ridiculous. Than a Gucci watch. That little making me a cup of tea, those little suggestions, and everyone's different, they mean a lot more to me than material, big, extravagant things. That's not the way to someone's heart. It's finding what your partner likes and doing that for them from time to time, and having that reciprocated. But it takes great strength and power when you've had your heart broken to be alone for a long period of time. And I think a good test is a year. If you can manage a year, and I'm not saying don't go on dates and stuff like that, because you never know when things are going to come along, and you just don't. But you should take that opportunity to focus on yourself, to have that freedom to go, right, what do I truly want to do? Who am I? What makes me tick? How can I better myself so that when I do meet that next person, we can be better together? We can help each other and we can have the best time ever. You know, and then when you get 2 or 3 years into the relationship, or you get married, how do we keep it the way it was when we first got together? And it's the little things. The big things at this point, they don't matter. I've seen it. Oh God, flowers again. Do you know what I mean? Oh, that's the default. There's no thought in that. Oh yeah, you get flowers, a box of chocolates. There's no thought in that. But maybe it's like taking them to. I know it's cheesy, but it's cheesy because it means something. Taking them to the first place where you had your first kiss, or where you proposed. I know one of my great friends who's in an incredible marriage. Again, so when I'm looking at how I want to live my life in terms of relationship, I always look to people who I admire. So when it comes to relationships, guys, don't look at your mates who are having murder with their spouses or are cheating on each other, or you're not going to learn nothing from them. Nothing. What you want to do is you want to look at a couple who have been together for 30, 40, 50 years, if that's what you want, and learn from them and go, it might even be your grandparents, how did you do it? And they might turn around and go, well, in those days you never had a choice. Do you know? So then that's not good advice, because like, oh well, we do have choices now. But there will be people who are together and have stayed together and stood the test of time. But the main thing I know about these people is they're very well educated. And when I use that word, I don't mean that they've been to university and stuff like that, but they're curious. They keep that curiosity. They're constantly learning, and they're very self-aware. So if any of you guys out there, hey Helen, if any of you guys out there are going through any kind of heartbreak or rejection or pain, no, you're not alone. Not at all. I'm right there with you every single freaking day. I get a kick in the teeth when it comes to my profession, and it makes me smile, because do you know what? I'm getting a kick in the teeth because I'm still in the game. You know, it's impossible to beat someone who will never ever quit. That's what you got to be like. You've got to stay in the game. So I take that sting, I take that freaking punch to the head, and then I'm like, I've got stronger. It's like when you first start boxing, when you're sparring and you're like, someone goes to hit you, you're like constantly flinching. But then when you get used to it, getting hit a few times, you're like, oh, it's not that bad. And you start to like it, and then all of a sudden you're getting hit, and you're keeping your eyes up, and you're not closing those eyes, and you're moving, and you're stalking, because you've got stronger, you know what's coming. By putting yourself in that uncomfortable situation, and life's exactly the same. Even relationships, if you've been absolutely battered and trodden on, don't worry about it. It's easier said than done, but by creating good habits, by forming these habits, these things in the morning, if you do them daily, they are going to help you, guaranteed, but not if you do them one day, miss a day. It has to be consistent, has to be completely and utterly consistent. Give yourself time to breathe, give yourself time to spend time with your friends, your family, go on mini vacations. Like, if you don't have that much money, there's so many good deals on like Groupon and stuff like that, where you can go to the lakes for 20 quid. Now everyone's got 20 quid. You might end up spending 50 quid when you're there, but you know what I mean. There's always a way, but you've got to get yourself out there. You've got to learn to be alone. There's so much power in that. So much power in being able to go, yeah, how are you doing? And being alone. You know, if you can do that, man, everything else is just going to be enhanced threefold. And never be afraid to, once you're confident and you've got that, like, you've got that stability back again, to get into another relationship. Because there's so many beautiful humans on this earth. So many beautiful humans. Just choose one. Choose one. They might not want you back, but just choose them, and you keep going. It's a fun game, life, and we got to keep learning, guys. We got to keep freaking making mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, guys, you're not learning anything. You know, I had a conversation with my friend today, and we were talking about this, and he's a multi-millionaire businessman. So I like to be around him because I learn a hell of a lot, and he knows that. Like, he's one of my best friends, so it's not just that, but you become a product of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. So if you look on your phone and look at the 5 people that you most have WhatsApp conversations with, and they're all on the dole, run for the hills! Because the likelihood is you're not going to be far behind them, and that's no disrespect to anybody. They may be going through some ridiculously hard times, and there's a complete and utter valid reason why they're in that predicament, but you joining them in that predicament is not going to help you. You getting away from that, bettering yourself, growing, creating something great, and then going back, that's going to help them. This is the reason why I had to move away from Middlesbrough, guys, because there's no professional drama colleges in Middlesbrough. You know, I had to go away to grow. I had to get out my comfort zone to grow, and I'm back in Middlesbrough often. I love the place, it's my home, but now I've got something to give back, like these Whiskey Wednesdays. I've got this experience and I can come back and share that. But if I'd have just stayed in Middlesbrough and got a job which I was totally and utterly like 90% going to do at one point in my life, who would I be helping? I'd have been miserable myself doing what society was telling me to do, and I'd have made everybody else miserable around me. You know, hey Andy, how you doing? I'd have made everybody else miserable around me. So sometimes you've got to cut people off in order to grow, and then if they are people who mean something to you, mean a lot to you, that way you can help them. In order to be selfless, you need to be selfish. Isn't that nuts? It's always like paradoxical, isn't it? Suck it up and get out and start again. Hey, amen, amen, James. So I'll say that again. In order to be selfish, selfless. Thank you, Sam. In order to be selfless, you have to be selfish. So, working on yourself, learning, growing, surrounding yourself by great people, learning to deal with heartbreak in a positive way, turning pain into power. You know, when I get kicked in the teeth, I don't go out and have a drink. I go to the gym. I go and get kicked in the face with an actual foot, because that's how I enjoy to get that adrenaline going, you know. And I think, especially the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, I'm very brand new to it. For men and women, it's the most incredible discipline on planet Earth. And I honestly think for mental strength, anyone who can just do a little bit of it as a form of exercise, I highly, highly recommend it. We've got five minutes, guys. Has anyone got any questions? Any questions in this last 5 minutes? And again, keep clicking and sharing, guys. Keep clicking and sharing. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Next week, guys, it's my birthday. Woohoo! And guess what? It's on Wednesday. Woohoo! And guess what? It means that I'm going to have even more whiskeys on Whiskey Wednesday. So next week, it's the 1st of August. Never ever thought about that. You're totally right about surround yourself with greatness. Yep, you learn from people who you want to be like. So yeah, any questions, guys? Next week I will be in Middlesbrough. I have no idea where Whiskey Wednesdays is going to be, but it will be on next Wednesday from somewhere in Middlesbrough. Guys, people who are in Middlesbrough, because it's my hometown, I have this goal of the first live studio audience for Whiskey Wednesday being in Middlesbrough, and I'm thinking of either Wednesday the 8th of August or Wednesday the 15th of August. It'll probably be a small venue, so I'll probably only be able to get maximum 20 people in the audience, but more like 10. So if any of you guys want to come along to a live studio audience of Whiskey Wednesday, what specific ways did you channel your pain into positivity? Blah, that's a freaking great question, Andy. Specific ways, morning routines. So it is so easy to just stay in bed and wallow in that self-pity when you're being kicked in the teeth. It's the worst thing you can do, because you are more creative and have more energy first thing in the morning. So how I dealt with it is I created a really strong, kick-ass morning routine. So my morning routine looks like this: get up at 5 o'clock, meditate for 10 minutes, read for 1 hour, everything positive that's going into my brain. A great book that I've just read, The Richest Man in Babylon. I highly recommend it. It will blow your mind. And then I go and train. If you can do that in the morning, bloody hell, insane. Some of you might not be able to, so narrow it down. Everyone's got goals, aspirations and dreams, so pick one thing that's going to get you closer to that. So if you want to be a piano player, make sure that when you get up in the morning, you practice your piano for 30 minutes and then you go and do 20 minutes of exercise. If you do those two things, exercise is number one, always going to be number one. If you do those two things and you continue to do that for 12 weeks, it doesn't have to be every day, but it has to be more days than not in a week. So 4 days minimum. If you do that for 12 weeks, your life will change, guys. It will be so much better. So Andy, a strong, solid morning routine, making sure that I get up with clear goals and a schedule of things that I need to attack, things that I need to win. But that morning routine has saved me more than anything else, especially when it's come to heartbreak in terms of relationship. Routine is key. In my head, routine stays as a routine. Yep. And like I said earlier on, it's easy to form bad habits and hard to live with them. And it's hard to form good habits and easy to live with them. Does that make sense? So if you do what is hard, your life's going to be easy. But if you do what is easy, your life's going to be hard. Who is John Galt? I have no idea, mate. No idea. So yeah, Richest Man in Babylon, that's a great book. Whiskey Wednesday, guys. Next Wednesday it'll be on as usual. It'll be my big 4-0. So let's all have live one in one of the microbars. I'm thinking of it. I'm definitely going to do it either on the 8th or the 15th of August, somewhere in Middlesbrough town, or it might be even in my mum's back garden, wherever it is. But if you do want to come, guys, if you want to be part of the live studio audience in Middlesbrough for that, just send me an inbox message with your email address, and I'll keep those stored. And again, I reckon I'll only be able to get 10 in, 20 max. So the first 10 who message will be the first 10 who get to come and have a whiskey or 7 with me, because it's my birthday month. So any more questions? I'm away maybe after that month. No worries, Davo. Cheers, Taylor. Right, time check. Guys, it is 10 o'clock. Happy 40th for next week. Cheers. So I hope that helped. I hope it covered a lot of things. And like I said, I ain't no expert. I'm learning just as much as you are. I'm curious. And no worries, Stephen. Thanks for tuning in. I'm a curious guy. I want to learn. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly making mistakes. That makes me happy though, because it means I'm growing. It means I'm learning and really enjoyed. Thanks, man. Thanks. So guys, just take what you want from this and disregard what doesn't serve you and doesn't work for you. My goal is just to, through my experiences and doing the stuff that I'm doing, I just want to share that and help everyone else be as strong as possible. I want everybody, no worries Andy, I want everybody to win, guys. I truly freaking believe that every single human on this earth was born to do great things. You know, extraordinary achievements, do you know what that is? It's ordinary people doing the work. Hard work, that's all it is. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So just dig in, guys, dig deep. And I completely and utterly forgot to tell you about the film I just shot last week, again, about rejection. I'll talk about that on my birthday. You've seen some of the Instagram posts. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for staying with me for the hour. It means a lot to me. I know that's a lot of time. Thank you for giving up your time to sit and have a drink with me and talk and grow together. So please get as many people as you can to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because the fitness stuff is on there. It's so important, guys, for growth. And I also put all these Whiskey Wednesday shows, I upload them onto the YouTube channel later, so they're there forever for people to watch. And again, if there's anything that you ever want me to talk about, even if I don't know anything about the subject, do you know what? It'll push me to grow. It'll push me to pick up another book and learn. I want to grow. As much as you guys might be taking from me, I'm also learning from you. So thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe with my whiskey. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next week for episode 7. Thank you, guys. Good night and God bless. Woo!